Okay.
Now would be a good time to go ahead and get into it. If other people join us, that's great. So people online, I appreciate you guys being here for this big experiment. And yeah, we're working it out. So let's actually start our practice on our back body. So take a second to make your way there. And it's completely up to you. You can have your legs extended or bended your knees. Let's have our shoulder blades tucked underneath of us and our spine is long. And as always in my practices, we just want to do an initial check-in with ourselves. So we might even just close our eyes. Start to feel your breath moving, any sensations in the body.
Yeah. Well, I'll still have the Kendrick tomorrow. I'll probably mention. Where's this hurt me? I'll also have
Feeling the belly rise and fall.
Aletha, can you mute your mic, please?
Yes.
And for anyone who might have taken Christian's classes before, I don't really know what his style of this kind of practice is like. So I'm going to do the best I can with this, and hopefully everyone still enjoys it. But from here, let's go ahead and extend our legs out, reach your arms overhead. We'll all take a big wake-up stretch with a deep inhalation. It might feel good to make some ankle rotations while we're here. Maybe movements through the hands, some wrist rolls. And one more time, inhale really deep and stretch. And as we exhale, let's draw our knees into our chest. We'll hug them in and start to rock side to side, just giving ourselves a back massage on the floor. Just moving at your own pace. This can be a really gentle movement. It can be a little more rigorous if that feels good. And beginning to coast to a stop. So I think we're just going to do this by alternating active and passive postures. So let's take our first active pose. We'll drop our feet to the floor by our sit bones. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, and we'll take an active bridge pose. So as we inhale, let's round our hips up to the ceiling. Push your feet down into your mat. And maybe we just start right here. If it feels comfortable, we might interlace our fingers underneath of us and take a shoulder blade squeeze. If we're feeling crazy and want to grab a hold of our ankles and lift your seat, we can do that as well. That's all just stuff to try. I don't feel like you have to do that. Breathe. And as we exhale, let's round our seat back down. We'll windshield wiper our knees side to side. And then coasting to a stop. Let's heel toe our feet out, mat distance apart. And we'll take our first passive posture, our first yin posture. We just want to drop our knees over to the left. And we should start to feel a stretch on the outside of the right leg through the IT band. If this is enough of a stretch, stay right here just like this. If we feel comfortable to, you might take your left foot on top of your right knee. And that will deepen the stretch. Again, if that feels painful or really uncomfortable, just keep your foot down to the floor. And just like in all other yin practices, we want to let our entire body soften and release. Just imagine every single muscle letting go, watching the breath. Ask yourself if there's anywhere we can let go a little bit more. And when this next breath is ended, if we do have the foot on top of the knee, let's take it off. We're just going to bring our knees up and over to the opposite side. And just like on the opposite side, we should start to feel a stretch on the outside of this time the left leg. If we want to, we can take the right foot on top of the left knee. Again, if that's too much, just skip that part, keep the foot down to the floor. And then let every single muscle in the body relax. We don't need to change our breath at all. We don't need to deepen our breath at all. Just watch. We might even be able to sense some more subtle things like our heartbeat, getting a sense of our circulation, and maybe even the pulsation of energy. And that energy sensation might even be easier to feel in the hands and feet, but perhaps also in the heart area, or the low back. And we'll start to unwind ourselves. We have the foot onto the knee. Let's bring that off, and the knees come back up to center. Let's start to windshield wiper side to side. Give yourselves a low back massage. And then coasting to a stop at center. One more time, we're going to take that same active bridge posture. So let's bring our feet in by our sit bones, tuck your shoulder blades underneath of you. And when you're ready, push your feet into the floor, round your hips up to the ceiling. If we felt good to go into any of those deeper variations, allow yourself to do that. So we can take the shoulder blade squeeze if that feels good. We can grab a hold of the ankles if that feels good. Push the floor away. Last breath in, really lift. And as we exhale, carefully, mindfully, rounding back down, unwind, windshield wiper the knees. And then coasting to a stop. Let's take another big wake up stretch, beginning to extend the legs out, reach your arms up overhead. Inhale deep. If the ankle rotations or other movements felt good, go for it. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Our arms go out into a big letter T, and our knees tuck in towards our chest. We're going to move into our next yin posture, knee down twist. So we'll drop our knees over to the left, and if it feels okay on our neck, we'll look out towards the right. If that doesn't feel so good, just skip that part. And once again, just let your whole body release. Feel the breath. Let go. Let's all take one more really deep inhalation. Try to fill your whole body as much as you can. And then exhale through the mouth. And if we could, we'll try that one more time. Inhale really, really deep. And then take a sigh out. After that exhalation, let's take our knees up and over to the opposite side. So knees drift over towards the right. If it feels okay, let's bring our gaze out to the left. If that's painful, don't do it. Just relax. Just like we did on the opposite side, we're going to take the deepest inhalation that we can. And exhale, sigh. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Knees begin to float back up to center. We'll hug our knees in again and start to rock side to side, just to bring our spine back to a neutral position. And starting to coast to stop. Let's do a little core work. We'll drop our feet to the floor by our sit bones. We're just going to lift our seat enough that we can bring our hands palm face down underneath our seat. We'll tuck our shoulder blades underneath of us and bring your legs straight up to the ceiling. Nice, and we're going to start to make circles to the left. The bigger, the better. And then switching directions. And then coasting to a stop. Let's drop our feet to the floor by our sit bones. Remove your hands from underneath you one more time. Windshield wiper side to side. And starting to coast to a stop. So for this next one, we have a few options here. Option number one, keeping a bend in our knees, we'll bring our left ankle over the right knee. So this is kind of option one here. Option two, if we're a little more flexible, you might take your right hand to the left foot and draw it in towards the hip crease. That's option number two. So maybe we stop right there. Option number three is to extend the right leg out and let the left knee relax down to the floor. I even think it feels pretty nice to take my left arm overhead Just do your best to let all your muscles soften. Deeply relax. Just feeling 2 more breaths flow in and out. And when your second exhalation is ended, let's go ahead and release the foot, start to unwind. If we need to extend that leg out a little bit and make some ankle rotations to wake that leg back up, go for it. And then switching sides. So let's start by putting a bend in the left leg. Maybe we start by bringing the right ankle on top of the left knee. If we can, we'll take the left hand to the right foot and draw it closer to the hip crease. Maybe we stop right there. Maybe we start to extend the left leg out onto the floor. Take your time to shift and adjust, whatever you need to do to get comfortable so you can really relax. Feeling our final two breaths. And then starting to release the leg, extending that leg out. If you want to shift and move a little bit, make the ankle rotations, other movements, go for it. Allow yourself to do that. And once again, let's extend our arms up overhead. Big wake up stretch. Inhale really deep. And as we exhale, knees into the chest. And we're going to start to rock and roll forward and back. I somehow always manage to rock myself right off my mat when I do this. So keep going a couple more times. And the next time we rock ourselves up, let's balance on our sit bones, lift through the chest, and extend out through your arms. Boat pose. Hold it, breathe. Lift. And as we exhale, come to a cross-leg position, relax straight forward over your legs. Just picture a wave of relaxation washing over your entire body. And when that next breath is ended, let's inhale ourselves up to a tall seated position. And we're going to take reverse table from here. So let's unwind our legs. Feet come in by your sit bones. Our hands come behind us, fingertips facing forward. And we're going to lift up as high as we feel comfortable to go. So maybe it's just a little bit. That's totally fine if that's the case. If we can lift up even higher, go for it. Only drop your head back if that feels okay out of your neck. If it doesn't, just skip that. Push the floor away. Last breath in, lift. And exhale, release. Lower down. We're going to take our seated forward fold again, but this time whichever leg was not in front before, we want to bring it there. So whichever way feels kind of a natural sit. And when you're ready, walk yourself straight forward over your legs. It really doesn't matter how far into this pose we get. Maybe it's a little, maybe it's a lot. All of that is good. Just soften, feel the breath. Try to let go even more. Inhale, rising back up. Nice. Two options for our next active posture. Option number one is to take that same reverse table position that we just took. But if you're feeling crazy, you might extend both legs out. Not feeling crazy. Bring your hands to your side, fingertips facing forward, and take reverse plank. Push your heels into the floor, lift your hips as high as you can. Only drop the head back if that feels comfortable on your neck. Again, the reverse table position is fine. Last breath in, lift. And exhale, release. Nice. If we don't already have our legs extended out, let's go ahead and bring it there. So bring your legs straight out in front of you. Flex your feet back towards you. With an inhalation, we want to lift out of our waist. So really lift your body up. Take your arms in front of you. Reach as far forward with a tall spine as you can. Hold it. Keep the spine really tall. Flex the feet. So we're really active in this. Last breath in. Exhale, soften forward over your legs. If you can grab a hold of your feet, that's great. If not, that's okay. Just relax your hands to your ankles, your shins, the floor, whatever feels good. Just melt forward. Just one last breath. And then starting to release, inhale, rounding up. Let's counter that forward fold by taking our left arm behind the back, in between our shoulder blades, and relax straight back onto that arm. So if we come into this shoulder opener and it's really uncomfortable, put a bend in your left leg, push yourself to your right side, and take the arm out from behind. Soften your face, your tongue, your jaw. Soften your eyes. And some of us are going to feel strong enough that we can round ourselves straight up to seated. And if that's the case for you, that's great. But again, if that's not what we're up to today, we can put a bend in the left leg, push yourself to your right side, take the arm out from behind you, and then lift back up to seated. Nice, and we'll do that on the opposite side. So when you're ready, the right arm goes behind the back, try to inch it in between the shoulder blades, or pretty close to it, and then relax straight back. Let everything release. Watching our final breath. And this time, let's all put a bend in the right leg. Push yourself to your left side body, unwind the arm, and then roll right back onto your back body. We'll put a bend in both knees. And we're just going to do some yoga sit-ups for a little more core work before our next in posture. So when you're ready, with an inhalation, let's lift up. Yep. Exhale back. Just keep going at your own pace with the breath. Just a few more. And go ahead and lift. Let's move straight into deer posture. So our left leg is going to be at a right angle to the front, and our right leg is at a right angle to the side. Take your time to shift and adjust, and then walk yourself over the forward left leg. If we're a little more flexible, you might start to walk your torso over towards the foot. If that's too deep of a stretch, don't do it. Just soften forward over the left leg. Another inhalation. Let's round up through our spine. So we're just going to do this on the opposite side. So take the right leg, sweep it forward. The left leg goes off to the side. So now the right leg is at an angle to the front, left leg over to the side at an angle, just relaxing straight forward over the right leg. And once again, we start to breathe ourselves up. If we need to get into this next posture a little different way than I'm about to, that's not a big deal. But if we can, we're just going to shift ourselves forward, turn that right leg in, and lift up onto both knees. Nice. So coming all the way up. Top of both knees. Beautiful. Just turning around so you can kind of see what I'm doing. We're going to move into camel posture. So we might have our toes tucked under. Option number one, bring your hands to your low back, lift through the heart space, push your hips forward, only drop your head back if that feels comfortable on your neck. And maybe just for the purposes of this practice, option number two, we interlace our fingers and take a shoulder blade squeeze. Again, still pushing the hips forward, lifting through the heart space, not dropping your head back if it's painful. If it hurts, don't do it. Breathe. Two more breaths, lift. And as we exhale, let's unwind and thread the needle. So we're gonna widen our knees, take your left arm out, the right arm comes underneath the left, palm face up, and relaxing to the right shoulder. So it might be tempting to kind of relax onto the elbow or forearm. We want to not do that. Extend the arm all the way out, relax to the shoulder. And start to do this on the opposite side, lifting up, unwinding, taking the right arm out in front of us, taking the left arm underneath. Again, we want to relax to the shoulder, not the elbow or forearm. Letting go. Hand begins to come underneath the shoulder. Let's lift ourselves up and unwind. Nice. Coming back onto the hands and knees. Let's tuck our toes, lift our knees, lift our hips down. And as always, in our down dog, it might feel good to shift and move a little bit. Maybe move your hips side to side. Maybe lift up on your tiptoes. Maybe pedal your legs. Anything else that feels good, go for it. And as we exhale, our hands start to walk back towards the feet. We're just going to relax forward in a waterfall position. If we are tight through the low back and hamstrings, allow your knees to bend. If not, we'll keep pretty close to fully straight legs. And this is another one. If it feels good to pedal your legs or let the upper body swing, you can do that. If it feels best to just relax forward at center, that's good too. Taking our final 2 breaths deep into the upper back and shoulders. And then our knees start to bend. We'll inhale, round up through your spine, sweep your arms up overhead. Take a big wake up stretch and a deep inhalation, maybe a back bend. Exhale, hands to the heart space. Nice. Take a second to shake it out if you need to. And then stepping your feet back together, hands back to the heart, breathe up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, walking ourselves back out to down dog. This one might be a little more challenging. We're going to take our right leg up to the ceiling, bend your knees, stack your hips, look out underneath the right arm, push into the floor, breathe. And while we're in this posture, you really want to work on rotating your hips open to the ceiling. So almost like a twist. Last breath in. And we're going to exhale ourselves to pigeon pose. So our right knee is going to come behind our right wrist. Look up here if you're not quite sure what I'm talking about. Right knee behind the right wrist. And we're trying to move our shin almost kind of horizontally in front of us. You probably won't get all the way there. And then the left leg goes straight back behind us. So folks at home, I'm just going to give kind of a side view here. So we should end up like this, and then relaxing forward over the right leg. Just a few more breaths to really relax. See if you can soften a little bit deeper. Our hands start to come underneath our shoulders, lifting the upper body. If we can, we're going to tuck our back toes under and lift back up to down dog. Nice, and we'll do both of those on the opposite side. So this time the Left leg is going to go up to the ceiling, bend the knee, stack the hips, look out underneath, rotate open, push the ground away, breathe. Last inhalation. And exhale, pigeon pose on the opposite side. Left knee behind the left wrist. Take your time to get there. Again, we're working towards getting our shin kind of horizontal in front of us here. If you're like me, you're probably not quite getting it there. That's okay. Don't force it. Our right leg is in a straight line behind us. And we're going to relax forward over the left leg. The one thing we should want to avoid, I should have mentioned this on the opposite side, but if we feel our left hip kind of over to the side on the ground, we want to lift it up. Both hips are going to be parallel to the floor. One final breath. When that exhalation is ended, hands come under the shoulders, lift yourselves up. This will be similar to what we did before, but this time we're going to step ourselves back to a plank position. So bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, tuck your back toes under, and unwind to plank. Tuck your tailbone, push the floor away. You want to be straight as an arrow. So if you feel your butt lifting up to the ceiling, bring it back down. Everyone looks good. Gently squeeze your belly muscles. Two more breaths. And exhale, knees to the floor. Relaxing back, child's pose. Sink your seat back. And whatever feels best to you, you can have long extended arms if that feels good. You can have bend in your elbows if that feels better. This will be our last set of postures before Shavasana. Let's lift ourselves up onto our hands and knees. We're going to walk ourselves all the way forward out onto your belly. I'm just turning to the side so folks can see what I'm doing. And we'll take our twist. So our left arm is going to extend out in front of us. Our right knee is going to go to an angle out at the side. Our right arm goes out to the side. And then we open into a twist. Take that right arm up and back. And as always with this posture, don't feel like you're glued to the floor in this. You can shift, adjust, whatever you need to do so you can comfortably soften into it. One final breath. And then starting to unwind back onto your belly. We'll do this on the opposite side. When you're ready, the right arm extends out in front of you. The left leg goes to an angle out at the side. And the left arm goes out to the side. And then taking that left arm up and over. Again, adjust if you need to. Just relax. We don't care if our arm gets to the floor. We don't care if our knee gets to the floor. None of that matters. Just let go. Just feeling 2 more breaths in our twist. And then beginning to unwind onto your stomach again. Let's bring our hands under our shoulders. Push the tops of your feet into the floor. As we inhale, the upper body lifts. Exhale, moving to down dog. Hopefully your carpet is not going to slide out from underneath you like mine. Take a second to shift and move, feel into it. And once you feel like you've had enough time in your down dog posture, lower your knees to the floor, make your way onto your back body. We want to make sure that our spine is really long, all the way up into the back of the neck. Our shoulder blades are tucked. And remember, this is just like our other postures. We're feeling the breath in the body, softening. If we feel our mind start to drift, just bring it back. Let go even deeper. Soften every muscle. And from here, our breath begins to deepen. We might begin to rock our head side to side, maybe making ankle Full rotations, movements through the hands and feet. Followed by one final big wake up stretch. Arms overhead. Inhale, reach. And exhale, we carefully, mindfully make our way up to a tall, seated position. Lifting out of our waist. Bring our hands to our heart space. Just taking the final opportunity for this practice anyway to feel your breath in your body. And holding a moment of gratitude for yourself and everyone who joined us for practice, both in studio and at home. And remembering the most important part of yoga is to take it with you, carrying this meditative attention throughout the rest of your day. Thank you very much. Namaste. Thank you all. Appreciate it.